What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mika Chanel, back with another edition of Mika Chanel is Just Saying. Today we are talking about R&B Divas LA Season 1 Episode 4. I know it's like super late because tonight, or actually this week, is Episode 5 on Wednesday. But I've been so busy because we had our end of the summer bash and I was busy planning that. And anyways, so let's discuss last week's episode of LA Divas. R&B Divas LA. So it starts off with Shantae talking to one of her girlfriends over lunch or something, breakfast, I'm not sure, about the monologues and, just talking about the ladies and how they need to get going because, they're running out of time for the production of the monologues. And Kelly's been so busy that she's not able to, keep up with what everybody's doing. She hasn't laid out any plans for the monologue, and so she was just saying, her friend was saying, well, you need to get a producer or director or whatever. And Shantae's like, you're right. So she had, went ahead and said that that's what she was gonna do. Side note on Shantae, she I don't know if I'm feeling her hair. I thought I liked it in the beginning, with she's got it like kind of shaved on one side and then just big hair all around on the other side. It's cute, but I think it's a little too much for a 45-year-old woman to wear that hairstyle. I don't know, maybe I just don't like it. Maybe I'm just being a little prude or something. I just feel like it's a little too much for her at 45 to be wearing that hairstyle. Anyways, moving on. Michelle and Dawn end up going over to Claudette's house because Claudette invited them over to do yoga, and for some reason she thought that Michelle had done yoga before. I guess she thought that they had a conversation, some imaginary conversation in her Xanax brain that they had about doing yoga. So the girls out there trying to do yoga, they can't do any other poses. They're trying to do like the little leg pose, but you put your foot, one leg up on your thigh and hold. Who in the hell can do those poses? I don't even understand yoga people. Seriously. Like, who twists their body all up in those different ways and they think it's real? I guess it's relaxing. I don't see how it's relaxing. Maybe I just don't have any balance and I just don't get it. But so they do that, and then they finish up with their little workout and they start discussing the monologues. And so Dawn is basically, she's just so nervous. She just seems really fragile. Like at any second she's just gonna break down. I thought that was gonna be Claudette's role, but Dawn just seems like, just anything goes wrong, she's just gonna crumble into little pieces or something. So she's talking about how nervous she is about the monologue, and Claudette was just saying that she thinks that she's gonna go ahead and take some kind of acting classes because she thinks that the acting classes will help her with the monologue, which I think is a good thing because she was saying, like, it's some songs that she might sing during her monologue that she hasn't sang in a long time, and she may not be in that mental space to really put the feeling into the song that needs to go into the song, So she is saying she wants to go and meet with an acting coach, which I think is a good idea. Anything that will help you be better on stage. So that's that. Then we move on and see Kelly and her manager / husband talking about how busy she is and she's got all this stuff going on. But not one time, I don't remember one time them mentioning the monologues, So I'm wondering, is this even a priority for her? It doesn't seem to be. But I don't know. Maybe it is, and she's just so busy with other things that she's spread so thin that she can't focus on one thing. So Kelly ends up meeting up with Shantae, and you see them, going for a walk. Shantae tells her that she's decided to contact a director for the monologues, just to get the ball rolling. And Kelly's like, yeah, I heard about that and I'm not that happy about it. And Shantae, has a little look on her face like she's a little taken aback. But Kelly was saying that she wasn't comfortable because she's not going to be able to attend the meeting, and she doesn't know the person, but I guess she was saying if she could attend the meeting that she would feel a little more comfortable. So I thought everything was fine, you know. And Kelly was saying that she might also have another director in mind. I'm like, well, if you have a director in mind all this time, why haven't you gotten him, you know, to meet the other ladies and, you know, get the monologues going? Because it's already episode 4 and nothing is happening. No rehearsals, no anything is going on. So that was kind of that. It was just a weird exchange between them two, and it seemed like this might be a little tipping point for the drama. Not sure yet. Well, I am sure. I'll get to that in a minute. So anyway, so Shantae, we move on to the next scene. Shantae and Claudette are taking acting classes, and Claudette was just saying that, you know, she's really ready to get back into show business, and she really wants to try everything she can to do that. And so her and Shantae are doing this class, and they have to just say the word blue back and forth to each other, but they have to put different emotions behind the word when they're saying it. So they could be like angry and they're like shouting at each other, blue, blue, blue. And then they can be happy and they're like, blue, blue, blue. You know, it was like getting really intense, and all they were saying was the word. I thought they were gonna start fighting at one point, and all they were saying was the word blue. So acting class is looks a little weird, but I guess it's helping them out. It seemed really, really intense for some reason. When I just assume if you go to acting class, you just get a script and they just teach you how to act, you know, to be that one character. But I guess it's a whole lot that goes into it. Anyway, so next is Shantae. Shantae is like in every scene almost in this episode. So her and Lil Mo end up meeting with the director. I think his name is Fred. Lil Mo was saying she didn't like the fact that he doesn't have a music background. He's done like, I think like some kind of films and different things, but he's never like directed anything musically, no music videos or anything like that. So she wasn't really sure about that, but he seemed to he listened to what they were saying. They explained to him how they wanted, you know, what the monologue was going to be about. And it was just a short little meeting, and then that was it. And so we saw him later in the episode. But anyways, let's stay with the timeline, because it was like last Wednesday when I saw this episode, so I'm trying to keep everything in order. So next, I think it was Kelly and Dawn. Dawn goes over to Kelly's house because she can't make up her mind what she wants to talk about in this monologue. She is just really annoying the hell out of me right now. I don't understand it. I'm like, was it the abusive marriage that she was in? It seemed like that was a long time ago, but she just seems so unsure of herself, like at every single second. It's starting to really annoy me, because I always, you know, her being a part of En Vogue, and then Lucy Pearl, like I always looked at her, she just seemed like one of the strong female types. But now I'm seeing her in a whole new light, and it's like kind of annoying. I still love her, but she's a little annoying. Anyway, so her and Kelly are, you know, discussing it. Kelly's playing the piano, and she's like, you know, maybe you can talk about this, maybe you can talk about that. And Kelly's all like, I see you coming out on the stage with lights and smoke, and bam, and then here you are, and you appear, and Dawn's like, ooh, I like that. I'm like, she doesn't like that. She doesn't know what she likes. She's just going along to get along. That's all she's doing, basically. But yeah, that was it. That little scene with Kelly and Dawn. Actually, they're both getting on my dang nerves, but you'll see why in a little bit. So you see Lil Mo talking with her husband in the next scene, and they're talking about moving permanently to LA, because she just, I guess, came out to LA for a little while to tape the show and to see if she can get some things going in LA. But doesn't have all of her kids with her. I guess she has 2 kids from a previous marriage, and they're in Atlanta or Maryland with her family, because it's something to do with their divorce, that she's not supposed to take the kids out of the state or something like that. But I'm like, didn't you say he was a crackhead? So I just kind of feel like this is some kind of made up storyline for her. I'm not sure. Her husband was like saying he's not down with just taking the kids away, moving out here, and he was saying they're not gonna have a lot of help in California like they have in Maryland, and because they don't have any family in California, which I can definitely understand that. Definitely. You need to have support when you have little kids, and they have like 4 or 5 kids, a whole baseball team. So it was just weird. And so then you see her go see a lawyer in the next scene, and she's talking to the lawyer, and she's just basically telling the lawyer that she wants, explaining to him the situation, and just basically saying that she wants to do it the cheapest way. I'm like, I heard that. But the quickest way too, because she just wants to maybe dissolve her ex-husband's parental rights. Again, isn't he a crackhead? He don't give a damn about being a daddy. Take your kids and move where and do what you got to do. That's what I'm saying. Why even pay for a lawyer? And even the lawyer was looking at her like, this girl is tripping. What is she even talking about? He just had this look on his face like, all right, okay, I see where this is. I see what this is. He just had this look on his face. But for me, I just feel like this is just something she's using to kind of boost her storyline for the show. I hate to think like that, but it just seemed that way to me. Because, like I said, he's a crackhead. I mean, she said he's been on drugs for a long time. He hasn't really been in the kid's life. He doesn't pay child support. Does anything else need to be said? No. Take your kids and do what you gotta do. So anyways, so all of the ladies end up meeting with the director Fred, except for Dawn and Kelly. So he lays out, he has a whole little direction of how he wants the show to go. Like somebody's gonna come in and sing, then we're gonna do the monologues, and then you guys are gonna talk about marriage. He had it all laid out or whatever. He was going around this room asking people what they were gonna talk about, and Michelle A was just like, she was just gonna talk about the cycles in her life and just the ups and downs and things that she wants to get through. And then they get to Claudette, and Claudette was like, no, then I think Shantae was saying that she wanted to discuss losing her virginity, which is something she talked about in the episode that I think I didn't vlog about, but it was like she had a birthday dinner at Kelly's house, and they were talking about when they lost their virginities and things, and she was just saying how she was young. Anyway, so in this episode, she was talking to the director, and she was like, she thinks that that's what she wants her monologue to be, part of her monologue to be about, because she was really young and she felt she was taken advantage of. She was just saying, the guy was just like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, this is how we're gonna do it, and then they did it. So I wasn't sure if she was talking about a rape situation. She didn't mention the name, she didn't say rape, and it didn't seem that way. It just seemed like she was saying she was a little naive. But Claudette says that she thinks that she wants to talk about a rape that she experienced, and everybody was like, wow, that's really deep. But the director felt like it could probably help some people if she did talk about that, and that has to be horrible, has to have been a horrible experience for her, and being brave enough to talk about it on national TV, because the monologues may not go national, but the show is national. Just to be able to discuss it in front of people has to be very difficult, and she's very strong for wanting to talk about that. So now I'm like, oh my God, I've been like calling her the Xanax mom and wondering what her issue is. And this girl has, I guess, been through a lot, in her life, like with her alcoholic boyfriend that was in the group with them, and then the other guy that was in the group, kind of saved her from that. Then she started dating him, and they were married for like 11 years, and they got a divorce, and then he moves all the way to California, and like, it's just a big mess. Like, this girl is a big ass mess. But I really felt bad when she said the word rape. I don't know what it is about the word rape. It's just something inside of me changes and gets dark. I don't know why. Thankfully have not had any experience like that. But just thinking of a woman, a girl, anyone being taken advantage of in that way is it just really hurts my heart. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to hearing her talk about it and seeing how brave she's gonna be. It'll probably be emotional for me, and I didn't even go through it. So yeah, so anyways, moving on to a scene with Lil Mo and her entire family. They flew in from Maryland, Merlin as she calls it, and they were all like out to lunch or something. So she had her other 2 kids that, you know, they came out with her parents and everything, and she was talking to her mom and family about them moving out there permanently, and her mom was not with it. She was like, I do not want you to move. But of course, at the end of the day, it's gonna be her. But what I didn't understand was, why was she talking about like her ex in front of her kids? Because then she brings up the fact that her ex is on drugs, and that she was thinking about, you know, just what should she do? Should she bring the kids out here? I mean, the kids are sitting right there. And then she turns and asks the kids, like, would you rather stay over there to be closer to your dad, or do you want to come here with me? You know, I just felt like the whole thing was so inappropriate. First of all, you do not discuss adult issues with little kids around. Second of all, you never badmouth your kid's father. I don't care what he's done. I don't care if he was a DC sniper. You just don't badmouth your kid's father in front of them, to them, around them, anything like that. It's just bad taste. It's inappropriate, and in the long run, it's basically making them choose, and it shouldn't be that way. Even if he's not in their life, they need to form their own opinions, basically. So I didn't really like that scene. I'm like, Lil Mo, why are you doing that? You shouldn't do that. And then ask them, like, point blank, ask the kids. Not only are you talking about it in front of them, then you're asking them a question, and they're like, well, I want to come stay with you. But what are they supposed to say? Well, when you just in there bad mouthing their dad, then you ask them, do you want to stay with your dad? Of course they're gonna say no. You know what I mean? So I didn't like that at all, and I wish that it didn't happen, but whatever. Let's move on to all of the ladies now meeting up with the director, Director Fred. I think it's Producer Fred, Director Fred, whatever. I really honestly don't know the difference between the producer and the director. Like, I think the director tells everybody on the set what to do, and the producer has the money. I don't know, something like that, but whatever. I don't know if he's a producer or a director, but his name is Fred. So they're all meeting with him, and you know, they're going around practicing pieces of the monologue that they've already written. And then in walks Kelly and Dawn, like all late to the party, coming in like they own the place, come in, sit down, and then Kelly interrupts everything and is like, you know, excuse me, what's going on? What, you know, I don't like this, and you know, I need to know who you are before I even divulge any personal information to me. I didn't know anything about you. And Shantae and Lil Mo are like, are you serious? You know, giving her this are you serious face. And then the directors flash forward to clips of not only Lil Mo saying that that they were supposed to be meeting with this guy, talking to Claudette and Kelly. Then they flash to the scene with Shantae and Kelly, and Shantae telling Kelly that they were going to meet with the director. So I'm like, Kelly, why are you pulling a diva move now? Don't pull a diva move when you already knew, and this footage showing, proving that you already knew. So anyways, so her and Fred kind of had some words, and she's like, well, did they tell you there was another director involved? And he's like looking all crazy, like, you know, this look on his face like, excuse me. So they all start talking over each other. He's like, look, I'm gonna let y'all work this out. I'm gonna step outside for a minute. So when he goes outside, Kelly's just, you know, saying, this is my idea. I brought this to you guys, and you know, you can't just take, you know, you can't just say we're gonna work with him. I had another producer of mine, and then she was like, Shantae said something like, well, you know, it's your idea, but no, it was your vision, but we're all inputting all of our ideas into it, and we're all working on it. So without us, it's not going to happen. And then Kelly's like, well, it don't have to happen. it don't have to happen, and it won't happen because, you know, just basically saying she don't want to be she don't want to cooperate with the other ladies. And then Dawn's like, well, it was her idea, just riding on Kelly's little coattails, hanging, swinging off the nipples. I'm like, girl, get a mind of your own. And so Shantae and Kelly, you know, kind of had words back and forth. And Shantae was like, you know what, this could be a one-woman show because I'm not going backwards. I'm going to get this done if I have to do it on my own or not. And so I don't know. I think that this is the start of the drama. And it's just weird that Kelly just started acting like that. Like, and then she starts going off saying, you know, yeah, I'm busy or whatever. My calendar stays full. So whether or not we do the monologues, my calendar is always full, you know. And then she's like, I'm about to go get some coffee because I don't want to talk. I don't want to even discuss this anymore. So she, you know, starts walking out. But as she's walking out, she's still yelling because my calendar stays full. So I don't really care. I don't really care. And I'm just like, everybody's looking all dumbfounded and not really understanding why she just snapped out like that for no reason. But that's how they ended the show. Oh my god, that's how they ended the show. Well, that's how they ended the episode. And it just left me kind of, well, definitely wanting to see what's gonna happen on the next episode for sure, because the next episode I think is when she breaks out talking about the Vaseline and the Timberlands. But I think she must have been talking to the producer. But yeah, so that was how I ended the show, with Kelly just snapping and pulling her diva move, when to me they are all kind of on the same level. At least, you know, I'm not sure, maybe Claudette and Michelle A, but the rest of them all had, you know, the same amount of to me, very, very similar amount of success. And maybe they're not all as busy as Kelly is now, but it was kind of ridiculous. It was very, very childish, very unprofessional of her to act like that, especially in front of the director. So I don't know. We'll see what happens next week. Actually, this week, since I'm late, but actually on Wednesday, episode 5 will be on Wednesday. So we'll get to see what happens after the confrontation with the ladies, because I think there's going to be a confrontation with the director too. So that's it. That's all for this episode of R&B Divas LA Season 1, Episode 4. So I guess I'll see you next time. Until maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. That's when I'll have my blog up about Hollywood Exes Episode 5. It was good. I watched it last night, but I needed to do my R&B Divas vlog first. So I will have Hollywood Exes up. I probably won't do it tonight. I'll probably do it tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Until then, stay safe, stay real, stay tuned to Mika Chanel Is Just Saying. Bye-bye.